I'm not voting for you just because you're black. We have to divorce ourselves from voting for people just because they're black. That's too small. That thinking is too small. I'm not voting against you just because you're white. I'm voting for people that understand there's a need in my community that's special and different than every other community in these United States of America, because I have been treated differently than every other community in these United States of America. Crimes have been committed against me by the very government that's supposed to protect me in these United States of America, and we have to have that conversation. The only people that can even put themselves in the same category as we are the people that we call Native Americans or Indians, and they were decimated. They were annihilated. They were almost brought to extinction. The reason why you and I weren't is because we built this America. We are the original America, you and me. Before this is America, we're here. We build America. That's why you can't run me out of America. You can't run me off my own home. That's crazy. I'm an American of African descent. Everything that America is built on me. But I can tell you this as a community. If you don't make it your business to start going to Google or wherever you go to find your information and researching your history so you understand exactly who you are, where you come from, what you're made of, and why this debt is owed to you. It's not a reparation. You can't repair me with this. That has to happen from me internally. That has to happen from me as a community. That's us. We have to do that repairing. But the debt, you got to pay it. The issue is that as voters, we have to vote more. We have to know how important it is. We have to understand the equity of voting. And we have to understand the power of our vote. We're not a monolith, so I don't expect everybody to be on the same page. I don't expect everybody to agree with me. There are some people that literally are staunch Democrats. No matter what, no matter who's running, is what they're going to do. And you can say the same on the Republican side, but what we can't do is get mad at people. See, I don't get mad at people for being Democrats or Republicans or the Green Party or any other party. I get mad at people for complaining and not doing shit, complaining and not voting, complaining and not holding themselves responsible for the things that they believe in and stand up for those things. I stand up for the shit I believe in. I don't care what people think about my opinion. I think in our community, financial literacy should be our number one cause. We should all be vested in the stock market as much shit as we buy. We should all be making all this money off of Apple, off of Tesla. Tesla is a $2,000 a share stock. You could have bought it for $211 just a year ago. So we have to become financially literate, because we change 100 years in 10 if we were financially literate. And then we have to recognize that the idea of slavery ending is only 155 years ago. Slavery ended in 1865. We're in 2020. We're 155 years removed from slavery. In 1919, the end of World War I, that's 100 years ago. 101 years ago, black men coming back from World War I were said to be the greatest threat to America. That's what congressmen said. So that's our government. That's our government at the highest level. African American soldiers, the Negro soldier, is the greatest threat to America. You know why? Because he's going to make his community believe they have the same inherent rights as a white man. This is white man country. This is our government speaking. So if the government speaks like this, what do you think the citizenry speaks like? It's like in our community. In the black community, we don't trust nothing. Why would we? Our own leadership failed us. So when leadership talk about how lazy the black community is, I agree with them. We have lazy leadership. All you got to do is look at our community to see how lazy our community is, to know how lazy our leadership is, because the community is a reflection of the leadership. The same way the community in America was a reflection of the leadership. So if the leadership call us niggers, treat us as third-class citizens, why wouldn't the citizens do it? Same hold true in our own community. When you take on the role of leadership in your community, you got to be selfless. You have to be a giver. You have to be willing to put it all on the line, whether people agree or disagree. And you got to be willing to be honest, whether people like it or not. We got to decide what kind of community we want to be now. We got to decide if we're going to start loving ourselves, if we're going to start being better than us. We have to decide if we're going to hold ourselves to the same criteria that we're asking America to hold itself to. Are we going to be as critical about us as we are about everybody? I have an ask, and in the next weeks, I'm going to put out a press release as J. King Live Straight No Chaser, not as the president of the California Black Chamber, not as a member of Club Nouveau, but as on their personality. I have an ask, and I want both presidential candidates to address it. I'm gonna put it out nationally. And my ask is that the debt that's owed to Americans of African descent be paid, and that it be part of not just to campaign, not just talk, but to be part of their initial plan walking in. I have an ask, and I have an ask of you as a community. I ask you to quit getting mad at people that don't agree with you. Quit being mad at people that if they want to support Trump, we're going to need people on both sides. But I'm going to tell you whether you're a Trump supporter or a Biden supporter. If you don't have an ask and a demand for your vote, you are failing your community. And if you don't know how to put that ask together, then you reach out to people that do. You're going to see my ask. You're going to know it. I'm going to make my voice loud and clear in every space and place possible. And I suggest you do the same. And if you don't think that people like me and you change the world, it's only because you don't know history. Because history will prove to you how powerful people are. Do you know the power of your vote? That's the question you have to ask yourself.